True life story of Messi. Part 1.
It's like playing PlayStation. You give the ball to the guy and you start to go through every player.
Is he the best you've played against in your life?
Yes, for sure.
He's not human, and Cristiano is the best of the human.
In my eyes, anyway, Messi is the best ever.
I will go with Leo.
Here he is again. It's absolutely world class.
Messi is one of a kind. What he's doing, I don't know if we will see another player do the things that he does.
The best is Messi.
30 seconds remaining here at the Santiago Bernabeu.
The Champions League hero against PSG leading the break. Gomes looking for the overlap. Alba inside. It's Messi!
Me llamo Lionel Messi, tengo 13 años, re lindo, estar allá, jugar en el Barcelona, pensar club más grande del mundo.
I've spent the last year and a half of my life writing the stories of the greatest football players we have ever witnessed. And trust me when I say, it's hard to put into words how mind-bending their achievements were. At times 15 minutes isn't enough, sometimes not even close. With Lionel Messi, that's exactly what happened. It's impossible to capture the magnitude of his career in any sort of media. You had to be there. You had to rise up from your couch every time he did the impossible. You had to scream out his name at every perfectly timed shot from outside the box. You had to be there when it started, right? To this very moment where you stared at the highlights of his career and begged the football gods for it not to end. For one more body feint, maybe 3 or 4 in a shape over the goalkeeper at the end. One last celebration, one more time where you can look at your friends' faces who are just as euphoric as you and say, for one final time, wow, it's from another world. As we approach that final moment, it's time I try my best at telling you how one becomes a footballing god, how one becomes Lionel Messi. The day was the 24th of June 1987 in Rosario, one of the biggest cities in Argentina, and a baby was born. His roots expanded far across the Atlantic Ocean from both sides of his family and Italian ancestors who arrived in Argentina following World War II. Italy was left in a state of chaos. Life was getting harder every day, and in Argentina, foreigners were not only welcomed, they were in great demand thanks to a shortage of labor. So they sailed off, hoping to forget the horrors of war and move on. But the Italians, though they made up a great part of this exodus, weren't the only ones. Messi's great-grandmother, from his father's side, came from another place in Europe, Catalonia. As she left it all behind, she could have never known that one day her grandson would be the region's biggest symbol, the new ruler of Barcelona. Growing up in a country like Argentina back in the late 80s, you'd pretty much be peer pressured into loving football. They were living the grand old days back then. Maradona was still going strong. Actually, the year Messi was born just happened to be Maradona's highest goal-scoring season ever. To add insult to injury in a good way, Messi's family happened to be filled with football fans. As long as he was around the other kids in his family, he pretty much had to play, and he was always among them, being the youngest of 3 brothers who all pursued football at some point. And they weren't even the only ones. 2 of his cousins would become professional footballers as well. His younger cousin, Emmanuel, even went on to play in the Bundesliga at one point. At 4 years of age, Messi was playing football by himself at a pitch near his house, where Grandoli, a small club in his town, had their training sessions. Messi was repeatedly kicking a ball into a wall when the club's president, Salvador Aparicio, walked by frantically. You see, the youth team had a match to play very soon and there weren't enough kids, so Salvador went up to Messi and told him to go ask his mom if he could play. At first, it didn't go as planned. Messi's mom would say, No, he's no good at football and anyways he's too small. Thankfully his grandma was there and she wasted no time saying, Come on, let him play, it won't do him any harm. This moment changed Messi's life forever.